All right, everybody, welcome. It's Friday. Welcome to Wisconsin Foodie Live. Today, I'd like to say that I'm joined by host Luke Zom, but he is out canoeing somewhere in Texas right now. So he tried to see if he could live stream or call in from the canoe, but that was impossible. So you got me today. Hopefully, that's all right with most of you. Last night, great episode featuring two girls on a farm, Chris and Polly, fantastic humans, and cannot wait to have them join us live right now. Welcome, Chris and Polly.
Hello. Hey,
Arthur, how are you?
Good. Welcome
Thank
to
you
Facebook.
for having us.
Yeah, welcome to Wisconsin Foodie Live. What did you guys think of the episode last night?
Oh,
it was fantastic.
I love it. I watched 4 times.
No, it was great. I think we'll probably jump into this, but because we shot it in the middle of COVID, it was a little while ago. So it was just the best part was seeing the garden green, since we're sitting here right now waiting for spring to really arrive and get our hands dirty in the garden. So it was nice to see all that green.
Yes.
Yeah, that is exciting, right? That's like the best time of the year, is that optimism going into the growing season. And how different, because you're right, this was probably the summer of 2020 we actually shot this, right? Or is it summer? Yeah, 2020. So we wanted this episode to air last year, and I think logistically it wasn't the right fit last year, because we wanted to find something to pair with it, and we on our side, we couldn't get it done. We wanted to do a cooking this paella with you, and it just didn't work out in time for us. But we were finally able to get it done this year, so really exciting. I thought that paella turned out fantastic, right? That segment turned out really pretty cool.
Awesome.
But tell us a little bit about what's changed. I mean, so 2 years is quite a bit of time. What's changed on the farm in those past few years?
You want to go? Go
well, so before COVID, we used to do the CSA, and then we adapted after COVID. So now we have a farm stand nearby the road. And people can come and choose whatever they want to buy, fresh from our garden, all organic. And there we also offer the honey and eggs and some of canning produce that we have here at the farm. We added the personal chef services, which is going great. So those are the things we have been adding and adjusting. It's life after COVID.
I think
that was also a part of the story that we wanted to tell, and we didn't really get into too much on the episode. But you are a personal chef. Can you talk to us about how that works and what that experience is like?
Please, and thank you. Yeah, so I cook for families in daily basis. So basically, I deliver the food for their week. And I put it all organized, all labeled, and how they should preheat, when they should heat, how they should serve. I work with whatever diet a person needs to follow. And it's like very easy for the family or for the person, So when they open their fridge, they're going to have all their week meals prep and labeled. Very easy to go.
Do you have like some of the dishes that you're preparing for this week or last week? Some of the treats you got in the cooking in the kitchen.
It's funny because when I try, sometimes I think maybe I'm putting too much rice. I'm making those Americans eat too much rice, and I know that's not a cultural thing. But when I don't send rice, people say, "Polly, we missed the rice." Rice is basically in every time, and that's actually requested by them. We just keep adding a little bit of culture from every places I have been, which makes me really happy. One thing I really like about this is being part of those families' life. For me, it's so special to see kids eating my food and see that they're eating healthy, eating good, eating colors and fresh. I feel like I'm I am part of their family. They look at me kind of like, oh, you're the person. Everything is from Polly's farm or Chris's Polly's farm, even the banana.
Food is a great unifier, right? I mean, sitting down at that family table, eating a meal with your family. I mean, food is such an important part of the family structure, and you being the one that prepares that, and I know how much love and energy you put into that food, so it only makes sense that you are definitely a big part of those people's families. I'd love for you to be a part of my family as well if you're interested.
She would love to do that as well. No, the families love her. You can tell just how much they adore her, even when she shows up. Chef Polly's here, and she delivers the food. What are some of your clients' favorite dishes, though? Stroganoff.
They love the stroganoff. So yeah, I always pay attention what the kids ask the most, because it's always easier for the parents to get meals that the kids love. So they love the stroganoff, which is a dish. It's actually not from Brazil, but we have the Brazilian stroganoff, which is made with chicken and cream cheese, and you can make it also without the cream cheese if you want. But they always love. I serve with rice again. So they always asking. It's a lot. Remember, I told you guys, whatever with rice for me is fine. But they really like the steak bites with some sweet mashed potatoes. They love asparagus. They love chicken, whatever I make with chicken. I just try to...
Polly's guacamole, anything with Polly's guacamole.
I love guacamole. I love color. For me, food needs to have colors, you know. At least 3 colors minimum.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, because we eat with our eyes most of the time, right? I mean, it's, you know, what that plate looks like, what that food looks like. It's a huge part of that experience of eating that dish. I don't know why I do these at 12 o'clock, because it makes me so hungry. I just want to talk about food. I get really hungry here. And
that was just cooking.
Yeah, I should have gotten some of your food here so I could have tasted it.
You should have told me.
You could have come here. We did it live in the kitchen. That would have been
great.
Next time.
I'm gonna rethink these things next year, because I'm gonna come visit you guys and we can make food and talk and eat while we do this. I think that
it would be a pleasure.
Put that in the plans for next year.
Great.
Yeah. So speaking of, like, we talked a little bit. I think we talked a little bit while shooting the paella, but about Brazil and the idea of potentially coming down to Brazil. What would that look like from a culinary perspective? Do you have any favorite spots in Brazil that you'd like to go to? Would you just rather cook at home? What would a ideal Wisconsin Foodie Brazil trip look like to you?
Well, I am so I'm from Minas Gerais, which is nearby the mountains. It's between Rio and São Paulo in Brazil. And obviously, I think that's the best Brazilian food is from my area. So with my plan, and my heart will take us straight to there. And obviously, I want you guys to try my mom's food, because she was my first teacher. And then I would love to take you guys to the first school, the culinary school that I ever went, which is Senac. It's just a technical school, but it was my first experiencing, just like food as a job. And it was awesome. And I would love to take you guys there too. But there's other places. There's so many chefs I know. There's Churrascaria, which is the famous rodízio. I want you guys to try that too. But I want also to take you guys to other places. Like my sweet friend Mariana, she lives in Fortaleza. And I would love to take you guys there, to see also my goddaughter, see how she eats. So it's just, I would like to take you guys to special places in Brazil, but especially in my heart, like then you can see how I grow older. I want you guys to see the mango, how it grows in Brazil, the bananas, because in Minas Gerais we have farm. So it's a farm estate. It's kind of very similar than Wisconsin, not the weather, but just like the farm environment. And I want you guys to see that. I think it's going to be really, really special. The coffee.
How about the cheese? Does Brazil produce any specific cheeses, varieties of cheeses?
Yes, it's in Minas Gerais is actually where I'm from. It's about cheese, sugar cane, and coffee and meat. That's the so I think you're gonna have fun.
I'm bored with that one. That sounds amazing. I mean, secretly, it's like I love traveling. I love eating, and I wish there was a way to just travel the world and eat and do the show that we're doing right now. To me, it's just so much fun. We've done it several times. We went to Spain at one point. We've gone to Munich. There was, based off that Spain trip, we also went to, and the viewers never saw these episodes. They were kind of pilot episodes, but we went to Chile, we went to Portugal, and just the fantastic stories. I mean, it's incredible to travel this world and to see, how similar things are to what they are here in our backyard. How connected people are to their food, to their agriculture. And, and I would even say that in the European countries, how important local food is. And I think that's something that we do all the time here in Wisconsin Foodie is search out that local food. And the local food is typically the better food. It's the fresher food. And you're not only eating good, healthy, fresh foods, but you're also supporting the makers. And I think when you start traveling abroad a little bit more, you see it's even more apparent that that local food movement is not even a movement. It's just reality for a lot of people. And that makes it, I'm just like super excited to do that. And I wish we could get paid to travel the world, but I think, whenever we do these kind of trips, our audience usually gets really upset with us for leaving Wisconsin because they feel like there's only 13 episodes and they want every episode to be featuring something in Wisconsin. So we've kind of tied ourselves in a box a little bit, but sometimes we just have to go out. And I think when we got back from Spain, people were really upset. But if you look at our Google Analytics, people love that episode. So you never know. And really, I try to, we try to please the viewers, but in the long run, we just love traveling and eating. And if we have the opportunity to go to Brazil, we're going to take the opportunity to go to Brazil. So
I have an idea, Arthur. I definitely have an idea for all the Wisconsin Foodie fans. So 13 episodes of Wisconsin Foodie from Wisconsin, because you're right, we have all these great local places that you can go to. And then you need 13 episodes of Wisconsin Foodie outside of Wisconsin. Mm. So you could have a whole new theme and, capture. I know Lima, Peru is one place we would love to take you as well.
You have two different countries already.
Yeah. Polly studied at Le Cordon Bleu in Lima. Peru. And we lived there for 2 years, and I'll tell you, the culinary experience there is amazing. Phenomenal.
They have a relationship with their food.
And the opportunity for all of the food that comes from the ocean to come, and just the blend of cultures and that Inca influence, it's really powerful.
Yeah, so. The Spain, the Chinese people, so they're all there. And then when you understand, for me, it was a gift and it was a privilege to understand all of that together, to see parts of that culture being represented by the food. It blows my mind what a food does to, it just literally describes a culture. And it's really easy to understand a person if you see how she eats. That's how I actually, because when I arrived in this country, my English was -10 probably. So food helped me. And it was the same thing in Peru, because I didn't speak Spanish at all. But food, it was the big connector. It taught me many things, the culture, it taught me the language. And so food is part of my life.
You know what you could do too? You could meet all the chefs here in Wisconsin that come from different cultures. Ooh. And then you could kind of, pilot off of that, where you're going to go to Brazil with Polly, and I'm sure there's people from all over the world in this state. We just got to identify them.
That is a good idea.
I love it. I think we've been doing the show for 14 years now. I think we deserve to do a one season of Foodie Abroad, where we just travel, to eat different countries with different chefs. And I'll fill you guys in a little secret that we're working on right now for next season. So this is already starting. This concept's already starting to bubble up a little bit, and this is a really kind of early in the stages episode concept. But one of our close friends, Chef Tori Miller from L'Etoile and Gray's in Madison, James Beard winner. Just he's been on our show so many times over the years, but he is he's Korean, and he was adopted into a family here in Wisconsin and grew up in a kitchen, grew up in a diner, and never had the opportunity to travel back to Korea, but really loves the Korean culture, loves the food. And, you see a lot of that Korean influence in the food that he makes all the time, but he's never been to Korea. So we thought it'd be a fun trip to take him to Korea and travel and just explore and eat as much food as we can. So this concept is already started, and I'd love to, nothing's definitive at this point. We still got to work everything out logistically, which is always fun when you've got a crew of 5 going traveling abroad, especially our crew, because we're a little suspicious folks here. But we've got Luke's never been out of the country, which is hilarious. I think Luke said he's been to Canada, and I'm not sure how much that counts, but he has never been.
Yeah, Canada's.
He's never been abroad, so that's going to be a fun trip, is to take Luke to other countries, and because it's going to be such a new experience for him as well, and I think that really helps the viewers as well. It helps them kind of go on the journey when somebody's so new to a experience. That'll be a lot of fun to see how that unfolds. So I'm excited. I love traveling. It's really like, once you get that bug, it's hard to deny that. And I think COVID really kind of hurt for a little while. I think I haven't been out of the country in 2 years now. So we'll see how that goes. But I am on board. I'm in Brazil with you guys. So we got to make sure we figure out how to make that work.
And Peru. Brazil and Peru. Yes,
Brazil and Peru.
Because
I'll go everywhere.
You keep thinking,
I went to Argentina. I'd love to go to Argentina as well, and I know that's a little out of the way, but Argentina is great. Chile was fantastic. Chile was a really eye-opening sort of visit, and I love going to the markets. That's like my favorite thing to do, is finding a market and visiting the markets. And the markets in Chile were just unbelievable, just very cool. But that was a country that was really there was a dictator that was in charge for so long. So they're trying to come back and find their culinary identity right now. And that's just it's such a fascinating story there. The food is just fantastic as well. The empanadas. So I'm excited. I get excited talking about traveling. And I know we're going to make this happen, because Brazil has been on the top of my list for quite a long time.
You just found the Brazilian. No, but
I had been doing it's funny. I actually was in Rio. I was in Brazil for the Olympics when they happened there. I went to follow. I was doing a documentary on amateur boxers and an amateur boxing coach. So I followed them down to, it was like a project that I'd been working on 4 years leading up to the Olympics. And the coach was actually selected to be a coach on that Olympic team. So we went down to Rio for the Olympics to follow him. But I think that, it was so, I think we didn't get a really good to the country at that point, because it was so manufactured for the Olympics. It was really hard to tell what was real and what wasn't real. I know things were moved around, and it just seems so kind of fake, to a certain degree. But it was still a fantastic experience, and I'd love to go back, especially with a local. And I've never been to Peru, so I'd love to. Obviously, I'd love to be there as well. So we're making this happen. I like it.
I think it's going to be special, because it's going to be like 2 different stories, obviously with the whole crew, but like it's going to be we can see the culture of the country and also parts of my life, because imagine when I take you guys to the first school that I walk, that I haven't been in so many years, and see the chefs, they're still there. Take you guys to Cordon Bleu, that I was so intimidated into go in the beginning. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to this French school. I don't speak a word in French. So it's just like, but all of that I think is going to come up. And when you talk about Chile, I also, Chris was a testament. So Peru came, the whole importance, the whole tourism in Peru is because of their food. It's because of their culinary schools. And like Gaston Mercurio, which is the biggest chef in Peru, he actually did that for that country. So the country is what it is today because of their culinary culture and everything. So it's so beautiful to see what food can do to someone else's life, to someone else, So that's what I think it's going to be so special for some Americans to see, especially if they haven't really left the country, see the reality.
I got an idea, Polly. Polly and Chris. Is this something where we want to try to take more people, like take a small group, and do a small sort of intimate group tour where, the idea is we charge a little bit and we get them to pay for us to travel out there. But no, I think we could, we could take a small group. Maybe we fly out a couple days earlier, then a group flies out separately, and we just find places, we organize places for them to stay. We organize dinners, and we just kind of travel with a small group. Something to think about. Maybe it's not the first time we go out. Maybe we schedule it in the future. But that was something we've been thinking about as well. Is can we schedule these tours and bring people out, help us pay for us to be out there to film, but then also take them around and travel with a group and let them experience that as well. So
and show
it could be
them,
a fun,
right?
Yeah, I think it's a great question for the audience, right?
Yeah, it is.
If the audience has any ideas on that, or they'd support that, or be interested in joining something like that, let us know, whether it's through Wisconsin Foodie or Two Girls on a Farm. We'd like to hear about it.
But I like the idea because I keep thinking, if I haven't been in a country and I want to go, for example, my dream is to go to Greece, but I would love to go with someone. That's on my list too.
Yeah.
So it's if you have someone from the area to show. I don't like touristic places. I want to be a tourist, but I don't want to be so obvious. I prefer to understand the culture, the reality, the history, and try the local food. So I think it's going to be really special. I like it.
Well, imagine coming to Milwaukee, somebody new just coming to Milwaukee and having to find everything on their own, like the best places to eat, or they could call me up and I could take them to my favorite places to eat. And I think it's a totally different experience for them, right? They get a flavor of all those little places that they may have not known about. I kind of want that when we travel, like somebody like yourself, or if we go to a country, I want that person there that can take us to the good spots that aren't on the beaten path. I'm not afraid to eat in little hole in the wall places abroad. So that's exciting for me. When you've got a grandma in the kitchen cooking, that's the right place to be, right? When grandma's cooking in the kitchen, that's where I want to be. So for all those watching, if you'd be interested in traveling with us, if you'd be interested in watching a show like this, let us know. You can always visit our Facebook page. You can send us a message through our website. You can send Two Girls on a Farm a message. We want to hear from you. Let us know if this is something you want to watch, if this is something you want to join, because I guarantee you it's going to be a trip of a lifetime, right?
Oh my God.
That's right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's going to be, and it helps with the language, right? Also, because you're always going to have someone from the place that's going to be like a translator, but not translated through translator, like the really meaning of what someone wants to say, right? If, like, for example, I take you to my house and my mom cooks for you, if I translate her words, it doesn't make any sense. But then if I explain the meaning, which, she probably is going to explain why she's doing, how she's doing, and then you'll be able to pick up on that. It's going to be special.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I think from a production standpoint of view, that's always the hardest thing from us to shoot. Like, how do we handle another language with the show? It can be really challenging. So so I think we've always handled it in different ways, whether it be some subtitles, but we try to get a translator to kind of translate. So we ask her a question and then you say, "This is what she said." But yeah, it can be tricky. It's kind of a new thing for us, but we're up for that challenge for sure. Absolutely. I'd love to know, does Michelin Guide, are they a part of Brazil, or is that only Europe? Like the Michelin, like European Michelin stars. Yeah. Is there something like that in Brazil?
It's a part, but I don't think we have as many, you know, as other as Spain and France, you know,
Yeah.
Europe, because it started there anyway. And then that's Brazil. It's still a young country if you look the ages of other countries, but it's a huge country. We also still working with our culinary skills, to be honest with you. There's so many ingredients that people don't know. I love my country, but one of the things that we still have to work is education, and food comes along with education. So it's something is still growing, and that's why I actually like to show the reality, because the simple is so good there, and it is so much that we can do from that. I love simple food. Simple food for me are the best.
Me too.
Right? So I think that's going to be like the key and the heartbeat of the whole thing. You know, like the local.
You let those ingredients shine, right?
Yes.
You just got to let those fresh, beautiful ingredients shine. You know, when you're working with these local farmers, local cheesemakers, that produce is the star of the show. You don't need much more than that. You know, just a little bit of seasoning. In Luke's case, a lot of seasoning. He is a very he loves his salt, so he just he puts it on. But I you know, you really got to let those ingredients shine, and especially when you're dealing with fresh local foods, it's the only way to go. That's my favorite.
They are the star, right?
Let's come back to the farm for a second. So do you have any so are you guys doing a CSA still? Is that still part of your farm model?
You explain.
Yeah, nope. We went away from the CSA again after COVID, just to make sure that we could safely give produce to the community and feed the families in the area. So when we shifted to the farm stand, we found that that's a much easier and more flexible way to do business with the community. And it's on your system type payment. So we just open up the farm stand and we have a box there. And it also enables us, because one of the challenges for any CSA is the picking of the produce and waiting for the families the days that you're going to deliver the produce. So one of the challenges, making sure it's still fresh on the day of your CSA. So with the farm stand, we can harvest in real time, put it down in our farm stand. We can promote it through our Facebook channels of what's new and what's coming in, and then people can stop by and pick it up. So we found that that's much easier. And then Polly is very busy with the personal chef services, and a lot of what gets harvested from the garden goes into the food as well. So it's ingredients for the week. So it's just amazing that way as well.
Yeah. But we offer eggs through the growing season. That Wisconsin allows us to stay outside. We do offer farm to table dinners also here at the farm, which I love because it's so fun. Seeing people
that'd be so amazing. Just like dream about a farm dinner on your farm, because it's such a beautiful property, and it's something that I've been trying to make happen, because you know that one of your neighbors is Justin Africanian's parents, right? Have you guys had the chance to connect over time? I've seen Justin like some of our posts here, and I'm like, I bet you. And I think we told him not so long after we shot with you. I think we shot with you that day, and then we went to his restaurant after that.
And
we shot with him for like a COVID sort of interview, and we were like, you got to hook up with them. So I hope he has, and I think that would be a fun farm dinner, is to have you guys, to have him out to your farm and have his parents there. It's just that I love those kind of full circle stories. That would be a lot of fun.
Well, we just need to set the date.
Yeah,
we've got the location. We just need the date.
We have chefs. We have 3 chefs so far, him, me, Luke. But one thing I like to point it out, and that is actually, we have to say thank you for you guys, you and Luke, because we started to do farm to table dinners because of you guys. I don't even know if you know that. Right?
Yeah, that's right. It was your recommendation.
Yes, it was your recommendation, and we listened, and it worked. So thank you.
You're welcome. But I know it's a lot of hard work, though. You know, right? The farm dinners are so much work, but I think for you guys, it makes so much sense, because you're really great hosts. You have fantastic personalities, and just to bring people into your farm, which is also gorgeous, is just, that's such a fun experience for people. And I think it's that next level of what people want, right? They love the story, but we see people want that experience as well. They want to be able to experience what they've seen on TV. They want a different experience. So maybe something that's not so traditional in a farm, or in a restaurant, I should say, but your farm, coming to a farm and being around that is a really, really unique and special experience that not a lot of people get to do. And I think that is, that's what it's all about. It's a lot of hard work, but I think in the long run, it's just, you know, it's a once in a lifetime sort of thing. And you guys are so set. You've got your kitchen there. It just seems like a perfect setup. All those chickens, and you know, those.
I was going to say
chickens were very popular.
The chickens always steal the show. But,
They do.
But
They become the star. Like when they see the chickens.
That's right. But thank you for appreciating the hard work.
Yeah.
Did
we feature
it is hard work.
Elvis, or did we feature Bob Dylan? Who did we put? Who had a nice shot in the episode? Which one was it? Right? Was it Elvis?
Elvis was the one I always told him, like, leave your sister alone. He's the crazy hair.
Crazy hair, yeah.
And
Okay.
Bob Dylan, Bob Dylan is the star. He's the star. He does have the same personality as Bob Dylan. I'm telling you.
They both got a good appearance in the episode. They both got it. Their show.
And Bob knows he's famous now. I told him, I said,
No,
Bob, you're on TV.
So if you go to the twogirlsandafarm.com website, you can make sure you message them. You can get on I'm sure, an email list of some sort to figure out when these dinners are coming. Make sure to email us, because we're definitely going to be there, whether we're helping or we're going to be guests, and get a chance to see Bob Dylan live in person, and maybe a guest appearance by Elvis too. Could you ever imagine, like, you know, going to a farm dinner and meeting Bob Dylan and Elvis at the same place? I mean, dreams are made out.
Unheard of.
Yeah, and they shine. They like to shine.
Yeah, so awesome. Well, it was a pleasure to have you guys on, and we really love working with you. We're going to work with you again in the future. I'm sure I'm looking forward to our trip, because that's going to happen. Look forward to this summer. It's going to be a great summer. I can tell the growing season is going to be fantastic. We're going to have fun farm dinners by Two Girls and a Farm. So thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And you guys, you're the second to last episode of our season this year. So we've got one episode left, and that is next week. I didn't have time to put the trailer out there to myself. We have one episode left. People can wait to see the trailer next week on our Facebook page. And it's going to be fantastic, because we decide to leave the borders of Wisconsin and to tell the story of Detroit style pizza. Something that people absolutely love and adore is pizza. And I think every episode we've done on pizza has just been bonkers. So it's going to be a fun episode. People might be a little bit mad that we're out of Wisconsin, but fear not, because Detroit style pizza is made with brick cheese that's made here in Wisconsin. So we follow that story. And we get to take the Lake Express ferry across Lake Michigan. I don't know if you guys have ever done that, but that is a fantastic way to make that journey. Skip Chicago and skip Gary, Indiana, and just get straight to Michigan. It is a fun episode. On the same note, if we're talking about traveling to Brazil, we get that itch, to explore outside of our confines a little bit. And this was a fantastic story, and hopefully people will enjoy it. So make sure to tune into our Facebook page early next week. We'll post the trailer. And then next Thursday on Wisconsin Public Television, Milwaukee Public Television, and YouTube, it'll be the last episode of the season. And then after that, we're hitting the road, and we're going to be shooting for our 15th season, 15 years of producing Wisconsin Foodie. We owe it all to these great fans that watch us and follow our every move. So we appreciate you, Polly, Chris. We appreciate you, and have a good day. We'll talk to you soon. Okay.
All right.
We appreciate you too.
Yeah,
thank you so much
guys.
for everything you guys have done. It's a pleasure
Awesome.
knowing you guys.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
Thank
tell
you so
Elvis and Bob Dylan I say hi. We'll see him soon.
I will. Thank you, Arthur. Thank you so